Greetings, Professor McKee here with another quick Excel tip your finance professor wishes you knew. In this video, we will learn how to use the PV function in Excel to find the price of an annuity due. In any intro finance class, you will have a unit on annuities, and we professors will always have questions where we give you 4 of the annuity's characteristics and ask you to find the missing one. If you want to ace those questions, this video is for you. I have prepared a question here asking us to find the present value of an annuity. Well, technically it's the value of the outstanding loan, but a car loan has constant payments. There's a fixed end date, which means it's mathematically identical to an annuity, and the amount outstanding is the current price of the loan. Say the bank or whoever loaned it to you was to sell this loan to someone else. That's how much they would be able to sell it for, roughly speaking. Now, for any annuity question, the best practice here is to take this verbal description and convert it into numbers that we can use to calculate our answer. We're trying to find present value. We need everything else in order to solve for it. This is an annuity due because our payments are at the beginning of each month. So we're going to put a 1 next to annuity due. We would have put a 0 if it was an ordinary annuity. N is our number of periods. We have a monthly payment here, and there's 12 payments per year. We have 2 years, so 12 times 2 is 24. So 24 payments left. I is our interest rate of 0.005. Present value, we're trying to find that. Payment is our $550. And future value is how much we still owe in the car once the loan's paid off. Well, once the loan's paid off, we don't owe anything, so it is 0. And I don't have to go back and change any numbers here because while Excel is finicky with positive and negative signs for cash flows, one cash flow is 0, so there's no sign involved. One cash flow is blank, we're trying to find it. So there's only one cash flow here, this 500, that is doing anything. And I could put this as negative 500 or positive 500, and the Excel function will still work properly either way. It'll just change whether it's positive or negative here for our present value. So next to my present value, I'm going to take equals PV, open parentheses, and I put in my parameters. So for interest rate, for rate, I put in 0.005. For a number of periods, I'm going to put in 24. For payment, I'll put in 550 or negative 550. And for future value, the default value here, because it's in brackets, is 0, which is the right value. But I also need something for my type, the type of annuity. So I'm going to put in 0 for future value. And then for my type, I put in a 1. A 1 tells Excel this is annuity due. If I put in 0 or I leave it blank, that tells Excel it is an ordinary annuity. But my payments are at the beginning of each month, so I have annuity due and I need to put something in here. Hit enter, and my outstanding balance is $12,470. That's my answer. Now, if I want to be a little fancier, use better Excel practices, and most importantly, be able to reuse this Excel file for future annuity questions, I'm going to use cell references instead of entering things directly into the function. So I put down the interest rate here in B7. If I type B7, where I originally put in 0.005, Excel will now go to B7, take whatever value is in B7, which is 0.005, and use that in the present value function for the annuity. B6 is where I had number of periods, B9 for payment, B10 for future value, and B5 for the type, whether it's annuity due or ordinary annuity. And as you can see, I get the exact same 12,470 as my present value. Now the reason I do this is because I can now make changes here outside of the function, and my function will automatically update. It's annoying, painful to go in and try to change things up here, and just changing the cell makes it easier to work with, and it'll automatically update my value here. So let's say I have an ordinary annuity now instead of annuity due. My car loan payments are at the end of the month, not the beginning. I change that to 0. The cell reference will now make Excel tell Excel this is an ordinary annuity, not an annuity due. And my present value updates. And it is slightly different because the timing of the payments is slightly different. Now it's $12,409 instead of the $470. And I can make this change anywhere. So if I could change the number of periods, interest rate, payment amount, future value amount, all of that can be adjusted without me going into the function anymore. Now, with this single function, you can find the present value of any annuity your professor might throw at you, whether it's annuity due or an ordinary annuity. If you found this video helpful, please comment, like, and/or subscribe so that other students can find this too. Happy studying.